Welcome back to Two Dudes That Game, brought to you by the Last Choice Network. I'm Ender. I'm here with my co-host James, and I think this is kind of gonna be the Call of Duty couple of weeks. You know, we got a lot of news coming out for COD, and we got two releases here within basically 3 weeks of each other. Exactly, so we just had the launch of the multiplayer Call of Duty campaign co-op modes, which we still haven't done. We've been grinding, unlocking weapons and things like that in Invasion. And we could kind of get into how much James is terrible at Invasion.
It's just because I'm trying to do marksman and snipers. That's all I'm trying to do. And I can get so many more kills in multiplayer. I just rack up way more XP.
Yeah. You are the only one that has that experience across everyone. I'm
better than everyone in multiplayer just using a marksman rifle.
I don't think that's true.
I'm at the top of the leaderboard all the time with you. You and I are the two top players every game.
I don't know. Maybe we need.
I'm kind of discussing the other teams that we're playing against.
I think I'm going to pull some screenshots here to make sure that this
fine.
Isn't
We've
lying.
Just been piggybacking off of Nadia's lobbies, so they're easy.
Oh, here we go. Now we're gonna bring toxicity into it. We haven't even gotten to that part of the podcast today. Like, come on now. All right.
Hey, I didn't say she's cheating. I just said she had easy lobbies.
You know, the lobbies have been super interesting because I don't think they've completely fine-tuned their skill-based matchmaking yet, because some lobbies I get in, I'm like demoned. I'm like, my God, I'm the greatest Call of Duty player of all time. And then the next lobby, I am like, I'm quitting the game. This is stupid. I hate my life. Why do I ever pick up a controller? I'm too old for this. I can't see anything. Like there is something going on there of just how big the swings are. And it may just be you just don't have enough game time in, and your KD swings so rapidly now from one good game to the next.
Yeah.
And I also don't know how many games they're going back, because I think it's normally the last 10 games that they look at. So that's a whole nother story. And I'm sure we'll have J God or any one of them doing some kind of in-depth analysis on it here later. But let's talk about how well the game did in the first 10 days, James. First 10 days. So I pulled this article from GameSpot, and I did not know we were going to be breaking records with this one. I honestly didn't. First 10 days, $1 billion in revenue, faster than any past COD title. 10 days, James. $1 billion in 10 days.
About 45 minutes ago, somebody just won that in the lottery, so I don't know what they're so excited about.
I played. I didn't win.
I didn't win. No, I won
wouldn't
about
be
$7.
I personally wouldn't be here if I had won that. No offense. We wouldn't be making this at that point. I'd be making my own podcast on, let me tell you how I'm going to spend my money, bitches. That's what it's going to be called. How I spend my money, bitches. That's the next podcast. If we win the lottery, that's what we're naming the podcast.
Oh, so you're saying if either of us win, we're taking a cut of each other?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean,
I didn't want to get left out.
Part of the contract you signed. You didn't read the fine print. Any lottery winnings get split 50-50. Sorry, you signed a contract. So this was from October 28th. Since the release on October 28th, they had made 1 billion. Now, I was actually surprised to see the last record holder. In 15 days, the 2012 Black Ops 2 did 1 billion.
That makes sense.
But I was shocked that in 2012 we were making that much money in gaming. Like it has grown since then on a single title. Now this is without the store. We're not talking skins.
So you got to think Black Ops 2 was coming off the coattails of, I would say, Modern Warfare 3 at the time, right? That should have been
2012. Yeah, probably COD 3. Yeah,
off of Modern Warfare 3, and that was considered one of the better multiplayer games that they had put out. The story wrapped up was pretty neat, and
I just think if you think back to 2012, I wasn't thinking in billions of dollars. Like, it was like hundreds of millions you were getting through and different things. And I also was not playing a lot of console games at that time. I was playing more of World of Warcraft. So like to me, just like, oh wow, we at that point we were hitting kind of our height of things we had 10 million subscribers in the game and all of the all of that going on. But to $1 billion is very fast, and again, that's just without skins. This is just sales, digital sales. Now that's the other thing. In 2012, you didn't have the ease of digital sales. People had to go out there and buy the game. Yeah, so that makes Black Ops even, like, how fast do you think Black Ops would have hit 1 billion if you didn't have to go buy the actual game?
I mean, that's when the midnight releases were at their hype. I mean, GameStop.
Dude, that was so much fun. That was so much fun.
It was really honestly a blast. Like, to go wait in line, talk shit with everyone, find each other's like Xbox or PlayStation handles, and then get back home, get in the game, be like, I'm gonna look up that person I spent 45 minutes in line with, and we're gonna start tearing it up.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's kind of funny because, Elden Ring was the best selling game in the US. Not anymore. Not anymore. Move over for Call of Duty. And it's the blockbuster.
But we knew that every year Call of Duty is the #1 game. I mean, everyone knows that.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, I was not expecting the billion without Warzone, without skins, without all of that. This is just game launch. $1 billion, 10 days.
Well, their strategy, if you think about it, Activision's strategy was perfect. You've got all these PlayStation fanboys that have, they're trying to push this narrative of Call of Duty is so important and PlayStation's this. So, PlayStation fanboys out there probably buying the game in bundles just to prove a point. And then you've got Activision, who was smart and decided to launch the dumbest World War II Call of Duty game of all time in Vanguard. So people were just ready for another modern game.
Yeah, it's still.
And I know that sold well last year too.
Oh, it was 10 days for that, and we are talking COD. But can you guess what the fastest selling game is of all time to get to 1 billion? What game got there the fastest?
And it's not Modern Warfare 2?
It's not Modern Warfare 2. I'll tell you, it got there in 3 days. 3 days to 1 billion.
3 days to 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And is it okay? Let me play a little. We'll narrow down to 5 questions.
5 questions.
Not 20 questions. 5 questions.
Okay.
Is it in the last 10 years released?
Yes.
Okay. Is it? Obviously, it's a.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a multi-platform. There's no way a single platform.
Multi-platform. Yep.
I'm saving myself some questions.
That's 2.
No, that wasn't a question. I said obviously it's not. I'm talking it out. No, I'm talking it out. It can't be console exclusive. It
was originally console. It wasn't. It was originally only consoles. It didn't come to PC until later.
It was originally only consoles?
Yeah.
And it's not a Call of Duty game?
No.
Wow.
When you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, this is easy.
Is it GTA?
Which one?
GTA 5.
Yeah, GTA 5.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, it did it in 3 days. 3 days to 1 billion.
I think it's the
GTA 5
greatest,
is still being played.
It's the #1 selling game of all time. I believe it's either them or Minecraft. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's
based on revenue from this article. It's them.
Yeah, I mean they've relaunched the game 7 times. So.
Yeah, but dude, it is, and they've made it better each time. They never made it worse. They just added more features that people wanted. They actually listened to people and added the features they wanted, and their game stayed for a really long time. It's amazing. A concept.
Yeah, I don't.
Who would have thought?
None of those people have ever worked at Activision.
Who would have thought that you don't have to make a new game every year? You could just update the one you have with the features people want. Who thought of that? Like that's unreal. There's no way that you can do that.
That's why they work at that company and not at Activision.
Yeah, well, that's why that company is not run by corporate executives that don't like gaming, which is another reason why I think you're going to see a lot of
gaming,
changes.
Just different types of gaming.
Yeah, but well, no, they don't like. I think Microsoft, Phil Spencer likes gaming.
Correct. Yeah.
And he wants to make lots and lots of money, but he wants to make lots and lots of money by making lots of really cool games and bringing them back. So I think you're going to start seeing the shift, and if he can create that shift, it's kind of like, and I hate to do it because I'm not a huge fan of him, but it's kind of like Elon bringing all the excitement back to things. You finally have some excitement back in, like the car industry. The car industry was super stale. And I hate EVs. Like, I really do hate electric vehicles. But there was no innovation in the car industry until Elon came on and was like, you know what? I'm going to do something different than everybody. You know, and it's kind of like Phil Spencer walking in and being like, you know what, guys? We're going Game Pass. We're going to do things differently, and you're going to make you catch up to what we're doing. So
Except
sometimes
Phil
it takes.
Spencer isn't going to charge everyone $8 for a blue check mark on their Xbox.
I think you should have to be fucking charged $8 for that goddamn check mark if it means we can actually say what we want on Twitter and the algorithm doesn't throw everything and skew everything. That's a different story for a different podcast that I can only do when I win the lottery because I still need a job. So anyway, moving forward, I do like to stay up, and we've been unlocking a lot of attachments, and we've been unlocking a lot of different weapons, and you had the realization last night of how the changes in the weapon unlock work,
frustrating.
which is so funny because the amount of information that you watch on this, the fact that you didn't see they changed that makes me laugh. So why don't you explain your realization that you had with everybody?
Oh, thanks for throwing me under the bus. So the realization that some of the weapons unlock by just leveling up, and some of the weapons unlock by doing certain challenges with other weapons and leveling them up to a certain point. The problem is that I was going just kind of up the line like you used to. Like if you unlock the first assault rifle, then you unlock the second one, the third one, and so on. So I was just going up the line. So I probably put an hour or two into the game of leveling up a gun that I didn't need to level up because it was just automatically unlocked, and leveling it up unlocked nothing else.
Yeah. When they went to the weapon systems, you have to unlock the first one in that weapon system, which unlocks the next one, which is the little tab that you have called progression, weapon system progression.
I mean, well, the UI on the front is so intuitive that it was very easy for me to figure all this out.
I'm not going to say you would have figured it out through the UI because you wouldn't have. I'm going to say you've put enough time into it that you would have accidentally stumbled across it, which took you way too long.
One of us played the campaign and one of us didn't.
No, I don't play campaigns.
Well, you're missing out. The campaign was really good.
I played the first like 3 missions, and then I was like, I'm bored.
You didn't even get to the good mission.
Yeah, well, they didn't hook me in the beginning, so done. Anyway, I'll end up finishing it at some point. It's when I get overly frustrated, I end up going to the campaign so I can just like burk people and feel like a god again, and then I'll come back. So anyway, speaking of one, I have a big concern, and I feel that they have to change this. There's no way that they're going to keep this in the game. So one of the scopes that you cannot use yet. So there are weapons that are not out yet. So this scope must be unlocked with one of the snipers that we don't have yet, because I think there's one sniper that has not been released yet. So
I'm sure it'll come with the bonus battle pass. For $40 you get 20 extra levels and this sniper rifle.
No, they've never made guns not unlockable for free in the battle pass.
No, I just mean it'll probably be at level 20.
Oh yeah.
So if you buy the bundle, you get it immediately.
You get it right away.
Versus,
I mean, that's of course that they're going to do that. They got to give you a reason to jump forward. But anyway, and everyone's going to jump forward if this scope is like on this weapon, if this is the one that you use. So basically, Call of Duty right now is very hit scanning. And if you don't know what that is, basically you put the dot over top of whoever it is, you pull the trigger and you hit them, regardless of the distance that you have. A lot of their marksmanship rifles and sniper rifles right now do not have a lot of bullet drop that you have to calculate for. As it gets farther, you kind of have to aim higher and let the bullet drop, which is the natural Coriolis effect of the earth. A bullet drops as it goes, depending on the velocity and different things like that. You can add attachments to make the velocity of the bullet different and move and drop changes and all that kind of stuff. So really good snipers are really good at figuring out that bullet drop based off of the distance that they're at. And we've had many games that have had sniper rifles that will give you distances. So you'll see on the side and the dot will say, oh, okay, the dot is at 200 meters. So you know you're, and even you've even had the scouting scope that will tell you that. So if you know you're at 200 meters, I need to aim one notch up higher on this scope and I'm going to hit the target. That's
and
pretty...
using a scouting scope to me is not the same as what you're about to describe, because you're having to switch to a specialty tool. Well,
a scouting scope won't even tell you bullet drop. It doesn't. So some can. Let me rephrase that. Now some can. But so you use the scouting scope, you have that. And then, as time has gone and technology had advanced in weaponry in general, they've put those scopes, spotting scopes, inside of the actual scope that you have on top of your rifle. So it gives you distances. That's not unheard of. I have one that does that. It helps you out, but it doesn't give me the drop effect of what it's going to have. So in this sniper, and we can throw in this video from JGod. So if you're watching on YouTube, you should be seeing this video go through. As you change the distance of where you're aiming, your red dot inside of your reticle is moving down and up to tell you the exact precise bullet drop you're going to get. This is going to make sniping stupid easy at distance.
You know what it reminded me of?
Scares me for Warzone.
The funny thing it reminded me of, I was like, this might as well be an EA Tiger Woods game. It's like putting that cheat line when you play on easy, you can putt and you just follow you don't need to read the green because you just aim for the line.
Nope, you just aim for the dot. It's already done all of it for you, and the bullet drop has already been calculated into the sniper. There is a reason why sniper teams in real life are two people. You don't have a solo guy out there. If you had this, you don't need the second guy to figure out all of your different things. Now, we don't have windage here, so you don't have left and right movement. So there's pieces. Call of Duty just assumes there's no wind in the world, so your bullet doesn't fly left or right. But I wouldn't even want to know how difficult it would be to hit any sniper shot if that was the case there. But this does really worry me for DMZ, for Warzone, for games that are going to be at distance. Even Invasion is at distance, or Ground War that we have right now is at distance. You're going to have, just think of Invasion. Everyone lined up in the back with these scopes and sniper rifles and just the AI running. That's all that you're going to have, because no one is going to be able to get out of spawns, because you can already get spawn trapped pretty bad by snipers right now. And you're not you don't have something that's telling me exactly where to hit, because the 50 signal or whatever it is, the second sniper rifle that you get
is nasty.
The drop is insane though. You really have to aim high if you're going to go across the map.
But if you hit somebody,
if you hit it, you're dead. It's a 50 cal. I expect that, but that drop is super significant. You put that weapon with this scope, I mean, you're not missing. You're not missing. So yeah, that's kind of some crazy stuff that you got going on there, and kind of brings us into two things. One, we'll get to after the next fact, the topic that you have for us today, which is this is going to bring some toxicity to the game, and we'll kind of get into what Call of Duty is trying to do to help with that toxicity. It's not banning their streamers and influencers, by the way. That's not the answer that you're going to have, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So James, you have a topic for us, which is around Warzone, and especially this new thing called DMZ.
Yeah, so today is Tuesday, November 8th that we're recording. We'll release this later today. And tomorrow, I don't know if it's morning or afternoon, a lot of the streamers have been talking about that they've gotten to go back to Infinity Ward headquarters. Fun fact, I used to work in that exact same location where they're based out of for Viking Cruises. So I used to see those guys at lunch break all the time. And I've got some funny stories from chatting with them at lunch.
If you worked right there, you didn't find a way to weasel yourself into a job there?
I tried multiple times. There was just nothing that I had nothing to offer.
I had nothing to offer.
It was mainly just game devs.
So they didn't need a middle-aged man with no skills to
with
help
no
them build
game
their
development
games.
skills. No. So, and I definitely didn't want to be a part of that PR team. I've heard Activision Blizzard is a nightmare. So tomorrow they're going to release more footage, or they're going to be live streaming it. I'm not exactly sure how it's working, but you're going to start seeing more actual footage of Warzone 2. So we need to see more of the map other than the hour that we saw, which I think is kind of funny. I think I think for that you're looking at changes. Everyone's like, oh, we get to see the map more. We saw the map. You could watch like 100 people play from different angles. The map is, we know what the map is. So I'm interested to see if they made any changes with the, supposedly loadouts are back and how they did it before. And I mean, there's pluses and minuses, pros and cons to the loadout system and what they were going to try to do and what they're going to bring back. But the big take is that we're actually going to see DMZ tomorrow. Now, DMZ is their extraction looter. Supposedly, for the fourth time in the last year and a half, a game is going to release that everyone keeps saying it's just like Escape from Tarkov.
I do have, so while we're doing this, I actually want to say I do have some times of it's expected to kick off at 12 p.m. Pacific or 3 Eastern. So that's when we're expecting on Wednesday night or Wednesday the 9th. So you're going to have that. And some of the streamers that you're going to get are Swag, Nadia, Courage, Huskers, the Modern Warfare channel itself, Myth, Landmark. I'm shocked Landmark is in there. Like, I didn't know he was as big because, from being Escape from Tarkov, like I did not, I guess Landmark's good across all military games. I mean, I think that's kind of his thing, always been. Jericho. So that's really specific streamers. I think Lupo might be in there too. I think they said Dr. Lupo might be one that they have, but you didn't get Tim. You didn't get Doc. Shocker. Like, they're not bringing Doc out.
They didn't bring Doc to the last one.
No, Doc's not here. Come on, man. That's the guy you want. If there's anybody that I want to actually like look at my game beforehand, and let's not even stream it, but be like, hey, let me bring you in and just have you look at it, because he gives good critical advice. Now, he says it in a Doc way because that's his character, over the top, but I bet if you brought him in as, not the character and said, hey, can you look at this before we do some stuff, it would be good to have those guys' opinions before they launch these things. But didn't mean to cut you off there, but I actually just saw this launch.
No, that's perfect. So really the topic that I want to get into, Ender, is like I said,
and Swag.
This is another game that we're hearing. It's just like Escape from Tarkov. We heard that with the Battlefield game, and then that came out. And they abandoned that so fast. Within a month and a half, they were basically, okay, we're leaving. We're done with this. The Hazard Zone, I believe, is what they called it. And then the Division style game, Tom Clancy was going to do something very similar, and it looked like Hazard Zone. And that whole game got abandoned because that reveal was just a nightmare. So here's Call of Duty's attempt at this supposed Escape from Tarkov. Now, you probably didn't play far enough in the campaign, but there is a campaign mission that a lot of people think it's going to be like DMZ, and I have kind of wish you had played through it, but I don't know if that's how there was crafting in it, and there was all this other stuff, and I don't know if that's how I'd want this game mode to play out, but what's your initial thoughts on DMZ, and are you looking forward to it? And we are Escape from Tarkov fans. I want people to understand that.
So I'm always happy to have another foot in the ring of looter shooters, because my personal opinion with Escape from Tarkov right now is that they have no competition that's forcing them to do anything. So they're taking ass loads of time to launch content, and they can. We haven't seen Streets. We haven't seen anything that wants me to make me want to come back to the game. But they spent their time developing the Halloween fright mode where you only had nighttime raids and all your food was different and things like that. It's like, you're really focusing on things that I don't believe you need to focus on. So having a AAA title like COD come into your arena, Nikita better start thinking of what he's going to do next, because he's going to lose his fan base. And here's the thing, and I said it earlier, but now I contradict myself. I do understand why Landmark's there. I do understand why you bring Dr. Lupo there.
Yeah.
You're going to bring your top Escape from Tarkov streamers and, you know, flip them. I'm surprised Pestily's not here. But Pestily's been playing that dark game, that other one that's going on, Dark and Darker, which is like the Escape from Tarkov from
Dark Matter? Or?
No, it's Dark and Darker.
I don't know that one.
So it's basically a looter shooter, but set in the Middle Ages. So you got knives and wizards and stuff and things
funny.
like that. It's really crude looking game, but it's actually kind of cool. So if you see them, there's been a couple of them out there. I think even Lupo streamed it for like a day.
Gotcha.
When everyone switched over to it. But anyway, like I see why you're bringing them, because you have Swag, you have Nadia, you have Courage, you've got your, and again, everyone brings Courage to these things. I don't understand that.
He's so friendly.
He's so friendly, but I just don't like that guy for some.
Why?
I mean, because I feel like it's fake. I feel like behind the scenes, like he's an asshole. And like, because I really love Nadeshot. Like, you see Nadeshot get pissed off. You see Nadeshot have a temper and an ego and all of those things. And there's no way you're as successful as Courage has been and you don't have those things. Like, to me, that is his character. Where I believe Tim is as nice as Tim is. He's just always going to be Tim. Dr. Disrespect is not as much of an ass.
I actually wish that we were a bigger podcast so these guys could see it, just so they could all rag on Courage and be like, "Oh, yeah, they would. You're not as nice as Tim."
No,
and just
no,
for Courage to call
nice
you out
Tim.
and shit on you.
That's fine.
For
and
being...
if Courage actually had the courage to call me out and shit on me, I would love him after that. I'd be like, you know what, dude? I was wrong. That's fine. You got enough courage, pull up your big boy pants and let's go. Like, I get it. You know, and I do like 100 Thieves. I'm not saying anything about that organization. Valkyrie, Courage, and Nadeshot, they've done a fantastic job over there. Like, they really have. They've grown that, and I would take nothing away. I understand the difficulty there is to grow anything, and the way they've done that has been fantastic in my mind. But anyway, back to the point at hand. You've got your Tarkov streamers, and you got your Call of Duty streamers, and you've got your Warzone streamers. So you've kind of got a mix of all of them here to see this new DMZ mode. Back to your actual question, how do I feel about that? I think it does what I had said. Like, I want the competition to be here. I don't think Call of Duty is going to get the in-depth feel that you would get from Tarkov. They're not going to have all the different ammo types. They're not going to have all the different things. I think it's going to play more like the Cycle, where it's very straightforward to what you have, and your crafting is pretty straightforward. You craft to make your gear, you go in, you bring some stuff out to make more. Like, I think that's what you're going to get in the beginning. Doesn't mean they couldn't grow it, but I also feel like Call of Duty's stretching themselves too thin. Activision is stretching themselves too thin. It's like, we want this to be the game for everyone. So your Call of Duty title has, if you are a Battle Royale player, we've got you in Warzone. If you're a multi-competitor player, multiplayer competitive player, we've got you in your standard Call of Duty game. If you're a Tarkov guy, we've got you in DMZ now. Like, we're going to make this one game everything, and I don't think anyone's ever been successful at that.
But what are your hopes that this game is?
I hope this game can bring a more accessible looter shooter to people. But I don't have any hopes for this mode. Honestly, the cheating in Warzone's so bad already. The cheating in this DMZ mode is going to be so bad and make me not want to play it, because now you're losing something. In Warzone or multiplayer, if you lose, you die and that's it. In these modes, when you die, you lose something. It means something. You are so much more pissed at cheaters that it makes you leave the genre. We left the genre because it was so bad. We have a podcast. We'll link it in here. You can go ahead and watch it and listen to the cheaters. They make money off of these things. So now you're adding this component of all these cheaters now have something to cheat for other than rage cheating to win a game. I don't have good expectations for it because of that.
But aside from the cheating, would you agree that if DMZ is not if there's no punishment for dying, there's no way that this game mode is successful, in my opinion?
Then you're not a looter shooter. You're just a different type of battle royale.
I mean, I'm guessing this mode is replacing Plunder.
No. I don't think it is. This is.
You think Plunder is still coming back?
Yeah, I think Plunder will still be as part of the Warzone. That's a Warzone game. This isn't Warzone anymore. This is DMZ. So I think you have to look at it as its own genre, its own game, its own mechanics, its own everything. So that's why I think they're bending themselves too thin. I don't think it's just a game mode. They may be, because it's not even like when you read it, they're live streaming Warzone 2 and DMZ. It's not they're live streaming Warzone 2 and the new game mode DMZ. No, this is a brand new game. And I think not many people are talking about it that way. They're saying it's a DMZ mode.
That's what I thought it was.
Well, they call it the extraction-based DMZ mode. But I think they're only calling that because it's built off of the platform of Warzone. You're going to use the Warzone map. You're going to have those things. But my first concern is how many people are going to be on the map at one given time? Like in Escape from Tarkov, you don't have 100 players on the map. The map can't be that big.
Now, here's the other thing. I want to throw something at you. You've never played The Division, but there's a rumor going around that this game has PvE and PvP elements. Now, with that being said, you got to imagine in the PvE side, this advanced AI that they keep boasting about
which is not the one we've got right now.
No, it's going to be running rampant in different areas. You're going to have strongholds, things like that. Now, if it plays like The Division, here's where cheating might not be as bad of a problem, and I'm back and forth on whether this works. The Division, you have a massive map of New York or Washington, whichever game you're playing, and then in the middle of it, there's an area called the Dark Zone. And in the Dark Zone, you have AI, and everyone in the Dark Zone can kill each other, including you and your teammates. And you can get gear from the Dark Zone, and you can extract from the Dark Zone with that gear. But while you're trying to extract, obviously people can try to kill you. Now, you can also get gear and extract from the PvE area, which is probably, I would say, 75% of the map. Now, in that area of the map, no one can kill each other. It's just everyone versus AI. What do you think if they did something like that, where yes, there might be a little bit higher tier loot in this Dark Zone area, but everything else is, if the AI is good, let's put the AI up there with scav level AI. Would that appeal to you? You could avoid the entire PvP area if you wanted to.
But I think that destroys the whole thing. Like the thing about Tarkov and what makes it as exciting as it is when you have the loot that you need, you're trying to get out, and you may run across the team, you may not run across the team. You don't know what you're going to have. You don't know when you're going to get into that PvP fight. You don't even know if they're on the map yet. You don't even know where your friends are on the map half the time. You know, like we have to have our Discord streams up just to tell us where someone else is, so I'm not shooting my own teammate. That is the beauty of the game. So if you want to compete with Tarkov and you want to compete with that feeling, you have to make the game the same. If you're going to make some looter extraction game that's not quite Tarkov, it doesn't quite have all of the things that you're going to have it. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of people play it because you're Call of Duty. Like, there's nothing there. But you're not going to be a competitor in the space. You're not. So until you have that, and then it also comes around, you're talking about just going in and getting loot. well, there's supposed to be a crafting system here. So where does my crafting loot land? Does it only land on the 75% of the map that is just PvE? Okay, now I'm competing with cheaters to go across it,
tiers, and if you had missions, obviously some missions would make you go into the.
You think that? I don't know. So then I never go in there because the cheating's so rampant and I can't get something done and I'm stuck. Just like Tarkov, I was stuck on one mission in Tarkov because literally I could not get a thing. It was a stupid little freaking trinket out of a safe because every single one of the cheaters needed that thing to sell it to somebody. So you could not get there in order to do it. So again, the other thing that I like about Tarkov that's different, that DMZ I think is going to get boring for me over the course of time, is Tarkov we could move around different maps. If this is just one standard map that you play every single time and all of the loot is in the same spot and you're doing the same thing and you're going in and extracting, it's like, I don't know. It's not the same as like, okay, you know, I'm going to go to woods because I need to get this specific thing for these things. And I want to do some long range sniping, hide in the grass, play this completely different type of mode, different gameplay. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into factory and I'm going to 0 to hero this bitch and hope I don't die instantly. You know, you don't have that difference between the two. So are we going to take the Warzone map and shrink them down? Like, that's what I would want to see. I would want to see this Warzone map broke,
and then have
Warzone
like
maps,
6 or 7 different maps.
6 or 7 different maps that you log into that have a very Tarkov-like feel, that have different unique things about each one of those. And you guys choose where you're going to go in and out in order to get stuff. And not everything is in the same spot. All the quests take you to different areas, just like Tarkov does. You know, you start in the lower areas, the lower ranked areas with easier things, and you got to ramp up. Like, we've never been in labs. We played Tarkov for a year and a half and never went into labs once because we didn't even get good enough to go into labs.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
So there's a lot. Let me wrap up my feelings here. I think there's a lot that we could gain from a AAA title as big as Activision Blizzard from walking into the space, if they do it right, because I think it's going to force these smaller studios to do something if they're going to keep their player base. If Activision does it right and they basically clone Tarkov and give it the accessibility of Call of Duty, because Tarkov is not an accessible game.
They basically need to do what they did to PUBG for Warzone, but do that to Tarkov.
Pretty much.
If they can,
and if they do, Tarkov's gone. And I'm really upset because Road to Vosko, which I think is a fantastic demo that's out there right there, that game's gone because that's a single developer and he's not going to be able to compete. So I don't want to see Activision Blizzard destroy all of these guys, but I think it's going to force them to step their game up. I think you're going to see this DMZ launch, and if this DMZ launch goes well, we're going to see Streets within the next 6 months.
Which could be a good thing. I mean, if developers can step up their game, it might be a good thing for the industry.
I think it's going to be a great thing for that segment of the industry.
It could help promote their game too, because if you get good at DMZ and you're like, but it's still arcadey, like we talk about, like if, you know, and you want that more realism feel, you're going to want to have other games to turn to.
Yeah. Again, I think.
But the thing with DMZ, you're bringing a console generation that can't play those other games.
True, and again, that has always been the thing. You know, how do you do the mechanics? How do you make sure that it's smooth? How do you do all the different things when you don't have 75 different buttons on your keyboard, or you don't have a taint tickler to play with? You know, to be able to do all of these different things. If you don't know, James has this stupid little controller thing that he uses to play these games because he's too old to use a keyboard.
Cyborg. It's amazing.
It's the taint tickler. But to get into our last segment, the one thing that the cheating, yeah, look at that thing. Good Lord. No one needs that. No one needs that. It's amazing. No one needs that. Learn to play with a keyboard.
Look,
good Lord.
You got your joystick.
A joystick. How old are you?
Got all these buttons.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sorry that you continue to use a keyboard that was never designed for gaming. Good job.
No, my keyboard was designed for gaming.
No,
It has been changed.
Keyboards were not made for gaming.
It has been changed in order
Keyboards
to
were made
help
for
with it.
typing.
Okay. I have to type on the keys in order to play. Like, look at that. There you go. I win.
Yeah, it's made for two hands. And
Go
typing.
ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
I can make key sounds.
My question is, do you you just did it right there. You got to look down at your hands to type anyway.
Correct.
So we already know why you can't play on the keyboard, because you got to look down. W. Oh, someone shot me. I was moving forward.
Yes.
Couldn't find S.
Yes, exactly.
WASD. I have to look at my hand to make sure I hit the right one. That's why you can't play on
you
a
got
keyboard.
WASD, then you're supposed to reach all over and get the space bar, the shift button, then I got to hit all these F1 like give me
No
a
one
fucking
hits
break.
F1 anymore. What are you talking about?
This is ridiculous.
Look, man.
But I could have a controller
Get a good
that I don't
mouse.
move my hand.
Get a good mouse, and you got all your buttons on the side here. You got
45
all kinds
buttons.
of places.
45 buttons. Just right there.
45 buttons, and you're tickling a taint. Look at you. Like
it
right
doesn't
there.
matter.
There you go.
Get
Anyway, moving on to toxicity that I think these modes could bring, especially we were talking about the new sniper scope, and then you also have DMZ cheating. Look at Tarkov and all of even the cycle. The day the cycle came out, it was riddled with cheaters across it. So you have those games that when you have loot that you need to go get, and you have online stores, you're gonna sell some stuff, and you're also still gonna have all your rage guys. So it's double the cheating in that, because it's not just rage. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 devs are trying to help with the toxicity in the games with a new reporting system. What do you feel about the new reporting system, James, and what they're trying to do?
It's dumb. It's honestly a waste of time. You've got people on there getting banned, and they're dropping the N word, and they're saying a lot of hate words. Now, in that sense, I agree. I've seen streamers, or I've seen other people, smaller people that have shown on video where they got banned because they were in the lobby, the pregame lobby, or they're after the game, and they were just lighting somebody up. F you, you suck, you should go kill yourself. All these things that we're told words are words, and you should just move on. Not to mention you can just mute the game chat. But
yeah, but I don't like that thought process.
Hold on,
there.
I'm just saying that I applaud them that they look like they're attempting to try something. But what I don't like is seeing these no-name people show video proof of them getting banned, rightfully so, by the things and stuff that they're saying. And then you've got people like Nadia. And I want to preface this. I'm not out to get her. I don't even think she's cheating. I think she's an average player that maybe she uses a VPN or not. I could care less if she uses a VPN, because everyone could use a VPN if they wanted to. And she does good in some games, and she doesn't do good at some of the others. I'm not out here to go after that. But what I am upset about is with Call of Duty boasting this new system, and she's actively by herself putting out clips, her own clips. These aren't even other people, her own clips of just cursing people out and telling them they should die and telling them they're pieces of shit and all this stuff. And that's her clip. That's promoting the game. And she's not getting reported and banned? That doesn't make any sense. So what do you... Yeah. And then on top of it, you're actively inviting her to different promotional events, and you're making her part of your promotional material. So you're contradicting yourself in this new reporting system. And some of the stuff she says is super toxic and super attacking on people. And again, I'm not vouching for the people that are attacking her and going after her, this bad boy beam. And it cracks me up, these guys, that these hacker hunters, we're here for the players. We're here for... Shut the fuck up. You're here for clicks and the views. Yeah. And Nadia
no one
is
was
the
talking
hot
about
topic.
it, you wouldn't be following it.
Yes, Nadia is the hot topic right now, so it's her. It's a girl, and you're going after her, and you're not out there to help me. You're not out there to help Ender. You're not out there to help the average kid that's trying to play and not cheat. No, you're out there to get clicks, views, and make money. So congratulations. That's why nothing's ever going to happen. But this
so here's
toxicity side of things is really pissing me off.
So here, like I've already seen it in. We were playing a game the other night, and you weren't with us, but after the lobby, we had actually gotten into the game halfway through the game. So 4 people dropped, 4 people came into the game. They were crushing us on the other team, like already. Like we were already in this terrible game. Once it ends, all you hear is N-word this, N-word that. You guys suck. You should kill yourselves. You're the worst Call of Duty players ever. But like it just went on and on and on and on. And it's just like I wasn't even in the game for half of the game, and I also was at the top of your leaderboard and my leaderboard, and I played halfway through. Like, yes, we lost the objective mode, but we were already going to lose that anyway. That's why the people dropped. So it's gotten worse over the years with the toxicity that you have in it. And I do like the way the system is supposed to work. Like, I don't know if it's going to work properly, but I do like the fact that how it's supposed to work is if you get reported enough, and I don't know what enough is. So is it 5 times within an hour, 3 times within an hour? Like what is it that triggers the system will completely mute you for review. So it's like if you're in a game and like 20 people report you within an hour or something, it's going to mute your ability to talk in the game. I like that. And then it's going to flag you for a review by a human. Because let's face it, people can just go like say someone was cheating, or say like look at the Nadia situation on the opposite end. Like anyone can say anything about anybody, and we're supposed to just believe it on social media. Like that's just the world we live in today. Like I don't believe the things that I see here. I want to go look at it myself. So to mute somebody that's supposed to be toxic and allow for their group of guys, which I guarantee is understaffed, that can't handle all of the stuff that's coming through, to look at them and say, was this really an event of breaking our code of conduct? If yes, I ban you. And moderators can now ban, which is they didn't have before. So in order to handle all of this, they have to have a group of moderators in there that help them as well, which are not, they're basically contracted employees. They're not Activision employees to look at this. Before, moderators could not ban anybody. They could just submit it for ban and it would take longer. So now that you have this, because you do sign a code of conduct when you play the game. It's the first thing that they make you do. You can't get through it without doing the code of conduct. So I am perfectly fine with them flagging you, not allowing you to use voice chat, and then at the end of the day, getting it to a human to look at it to see if it was a real event, and then them being able to ban you. I like that system. I think it's better than what we have today. It's not foolproof. It's not going to rid the game of the toxicity and of all of the terrible chat that you get, but it might make somebody think twice the first time they can't voice chat with their friends and it's banned through, and they have to do like what we do. Like we use Discord. We don't even mess with in-game chat now because it's it's not very good. And 2, it's too toxic. Like I don't need to hear what they are saying. I only need to hear the 4 or 5 people that I'm playing with. And you can do party chat. You can do other things to get out of the toxicity. It's not always there. But being someone that likes to trash talk, I liked having that, but I'm not one that's going to be a toxic player. I'm not going to throw around the different the racial slurs that you get inside of these things. I'm not going to go after people. I may be like, dude, you just got wrecked. You just got wrecked. Like, sorry, you played horrible. Like, okay, but that's not what we're getting in here. This is like kill yourself, die, all of these other things. Like those people need to be out of the game. Yeah. And I think the system has a way of doing that in a better process now of getting the high likely events in front of a human to make a decision. Because you can't just, I think everyone and their mother bans Nadia whenever she's in one of their games.
But my argument here is it needs to be fair for everyone, though. And it's clearly not. No.
And again, getting on that piece, like influencers are going to get specialized treatment. They bring a lot of money into the game. So if you think it's ever going to be fair for them, you're lying to yourself. You're just lying to yourself. Should it be? Absolutely. But when has anything in the world been 100% equal for everybody? It's not.
No, but my point is that you're getting, so just because you have all these followers, you can do all the hate speech you want and you're just always getting away with it?
I think there has to be a line, and Activision really needs to define that line on what that's going to be. I think there has been times where I've seen the Nadia clips you're talking about. She's crossed that line.
And I'm not saying she needs to be banned for life from the game or anything like that, but she should have a week-long ban where she can't do in-game voice chat.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you need to make an example of streamers are going to put that stuff out there.
Yeah, but my question, the question always comes back to how much money and revenue are you going to lose during that time you're making an example of something that you may not 100% believe in. So that's my problem with it. You're either 100% in and you believe in this and you're going to clean it up and you're going to make it equal across it. So if she gets the bans, she gets the bans. But it's again,
so stupid.
You're never going to get the actual equality that you want. It doesn't exist in the world today. It's not sunshines and rainbows. Everything doesn't work perfectly. But I can tell you, of the toxic people that are out there, Nadia's not the one I'm going after first. I'm sorry, she's not. There's people out there that are a million times worse than that.
No, but to the point is she's getting all the views, whether it's people claim. First of all, I do want to point out something that I've never mentioned,
because she's a female.
I understand.
That's better than most of the players out there, and everyone thinks she's cheating.
No, can we talk about the fact,
average player?
Hold on. Can we talk about the cheating part for a bit? She streams this game full time. Hold on. She streams this game full time, roughly 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And the best these cheat hacker hunter people can do is, so she's playing this game on average 40 hours a week. And the best they can do is pull up about 5 clips over a 5-month period of time. If you're cheating, you're going to have more than a couple clips a day.
Dude, I watched when all this was going on, and I hate myself for the fact that I actually did this, but again, the journalist investigator side of me couldn't let it go. I had to go look with my own eyes because I don't trust anybody's opinion other than me looking at it myself. I watched her stream for maybe an hour and a half. I saw her get wrecked for maybe 45 minutes of that, and then have a 22, 23, 24 kill game where she was like 25 and 3. I saw nothing in her gameplay that wasn't any different than what I can do on a daily basis. I didn't. Now, she's a better player than me. So she's consistently plays better over the course of time. I could not sit down for an 8-hour session and play as good as she can for 8 hours straight. But I also didn't see anything that, like, snapping from player to player movement that she did that was sus that I haven't seen any of us do on the rare occasions we're playing really well. And that's the thing, is the consistency that these streamers have is based off of the amount of time that they play. You know, if you're grinding 8 hours a day, you're putting 40 hours in a week on the game, you're going to be freaking consistent at the level that you're playing. Don't forget, the better she plays, the better lobbies she's going to get in. So are they using some VPNs to get into bot lobbies? Did Swag use some VPNs to get in bot lobbies? Maybe, but no one's stopping you from using a VPN. I don't find VPN to be cheating. Yeah, now, is reverse boosting something that I'm happy with that we should be doing? No, I look at reverse boosting as a little bit of a skeevy thing, but you're not breaking any code of conduct. You're not manipulating the game. You're utilizing the game's algorithm in order to get a better lobby at that point. The same thing you do with the YouTube algorithm to get more people to click on your views. You're not cheating the system, you're using the system. So it's like back when Vanguard got so fast that people learned how to utilize the desync and utilize all the different things that were happening with snaking and all of that. It's not cheating, it's using the bounds of the game. But when we step over into the actual cheating, Are you actually using aimbot? Are you actually manipulating the code of the game to help yourself? Then I draw a line. I did not see anything in her stream or anything in her clips that look like that to me. And man, we've seen some cheaters. Dude, we've talked to them.
Yeah.
Like we've had interviews with these guys that do this. They've done it in COD. And trust me, go play Escape from Tarkov, go play PUBG. You're going to see what real cheating looks like. It's not Nadia.
Yeah,
it's not. Like, I'm sorry, it's not that. She's a really high skilled player on the streamer end. She's not a pro. You know, that's obvious. She's not going to go in there and wreck Scump. So is anybody like, the other thing that pisses me off with the Nadia thing was when they were surprised she was struggling at Next. She was playing against the best players in the world at that time. She was in a lobby with Scump and Formal. Do you think any of us are gonna get wrecked with Scump and Formal in a lobby? Playing on LAN?
I could totally take Scump and Formal.
Playing on LAN?
You just go and unplug their machine.
Exactly. Dude, old school. Unplug their controller right before the game starts. You know, that's all you got. Like, and that's why I'm like, don't hate on somebody because one, they're female. Like that shit's over, guys. Get the fuck over it. This controller, this keyboard does not give a fuck what my chromosomes are. If I can move and I can see, and let me tell you something out there. All the guys out there that are pissed off. And again, I have a daughter, so I am biased here. But one thing you should know is that genetically speaking and scientifically proven, females have faster reactions than men do. They do. Their hand-eye coordination is faster. Go look at drag racing and see all of the females that are in drag racing right now because their reaction times are faster. They're at the top, guys. So, yeah, Nadia's going to be better than you. Get the fuck over it and move on. Get better. Get good. Play more. She's dedicated herself to a game. She's an entertainer. Now, I don't agree with her entertainment style. I don't agree with that, but I don't fucking have to. I don't have to watch her. But she's an entertainer that plays the game well, that is not doing anything wrong other than utilizing all of the shit around her to make her more famous than she should be. Let's face it. She's a 200 to 300 person streamer that's getting thousands of views because everyone's trying to figure out if she's cheating. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me you can't figure it out just what you said? You got 4 clips? Come on, son. Come on, son. Let's go. Let's just move on, people. Let's move on. Rant of the day is over with. I got nothing else. James, do you have anything?
No, I'm just excited to see this reveal tomorrow.
It really grinds my gears.
I'm excited to see the reveal, and I'm not excited to see the 32 videos that Bad Boy Beeman is going to be blasting across YouTube.
I'm just waiting. Bad Boy Beam, come look at me, man.
Nadia goes to event and gets destroyed once again, proving once again she's a cheater.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, just get over him.
Sorry that she tried to play the DMZ event, that she doesn't know how to play extraction looter shooters, and Dr. Lupo shit all over her.
So here's gonna be the thing. Lupo and Landmark shit all over. Oh, see, she can't play. Lupo shits on everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay, Lupo's probably the most skilled entertainment streamer out there. Like, come on, next to Mercs and those guys, who was a pro at one point in time. Nadia gets shit on by Mercs. Well, yeah. Like, is anybody surprised? Like, seriously, guys? Come on, get over this. But we are down to 8 days away from the launch. I have taken a couple of days off of work.
I won't be here, sadly, when it launches.
I don't give a shit. You don't have to be here.
Listen, my life is horrible, though. I'll be at Disneyland. I think I'll be okay.
That does sound horrible. Disneyland over playing COD? Like, really?
I'm excited. I'm taking my family, my 2-year-old. We're going to I'm spending a whole day at Star Wars Land.
We are in the process of planning our trip. So we're trying to stay at the safari area.
Oh, you're doing Disney World?
Disney World, yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing land. because you're in the middle of the country, so you can kind of
Yeah,
choose.
yeah. Land is
Where
good for
I'm
me
on the
because
East Coast.
he's young.
I'm on the
That's
East
why.
Coast. I ain't making it. I'm not going over to California.
Your kids
to
are a
see
little
it.
bit older too, so it makes sense. World is good for that.
Well, I want to go to Harry Potter stuff, so I don't really give a shit what they're doing. Like, I'm going to
It's
Harry
so
Potter
cool.
World.
I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but that area is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be going to that. Can't wait for that game to launch anyway. But anywho, any there. Nadia's not cheating. Here, you heard it here. And if she does come out cheating, then I got to eat all my words I just said.
Yeah, if she does come out cheating, she'd have to prove it herself, and Activision is fucked.
Yeah, and I don't think she's going to do that because I don't want to be mean, but streamers aren't smart. Like, if you're cheating, you're getting caught by now by accidentally having them pop up on the screen with the amount of hours that she puts in. I don't know how many times I've accidentally clicked on my screen and been like, oh, didn't mean to bring that page up. Like, come on.
And I'm
you're
so
getting
sick
caught
of
by
everyone
now.
saying if she wasn't cheating, she'd be able to show her screens and prove. Right now, you just said it. She's going from an average of 400 to 500 viewers to thousands of viewers. Why would she ever definitively prove that she's not cheating when the only reason a third of her fan base is watching is to see if she's cheating?
Dumb. She's making,
Well, you just said she was dumb, and now she's saying
like,
she's not dumb.
We're doing too much. We're doing too much to like figure out what's on our screens. Like you've sat in front of it. I've got Discord up. I've got Audacity up. I've got our articles up. Like, it's super easy to press the wrong button on your Stream Deck and bring up a screen you weren't meaning to bring up at that time. Like, that's gonna happen. But she is not dumb in the aspect of, I know where my fan base is coming from, and I'm going to ride this train as long as possible because I'm getting to go to next events. I'm getting to go to all these events and do all these things because it's the Howard Stern effect. The people that listen to Howard Stern that like him listen for an hour. The people that listen to Howard Stern that hate him listen to him for 4 hours. The reason why they listen to him, I want to see what they're going to say next. Both of them.
Yeah.
But the people that hate you watch longer. So you're going to keep that. This has been Two Dudes That Game. Sometimes, maybe once in a while, if we have time. Thank you from the Last Choice Network. James and I have been putting a lot into building this network. We have moved all of our content over to a single YouTube channel. So you can use the new @ tags in YouTube. So @ Last Choice Network in YouTube, and you will find all of our content. We post everything there from Ohio sports to Parents vs. Gaming, Death on Destinations. We got all kinds of stuff in there for everybody. Please go check it out. We are also going to be starting the Reacher rewatch of season 1 because James decided to take the master's advice, the master being me, and is watching very good shows now. So many shows that he's not going to be able to keep up because, of course, I recommended it's great. And we are going to be doing season 1 rewatch, so we're going to be dropping those pretty quick. We're also going to be moving to a centralized TV channel. All of our TV reviews are going to be to. So we just finished up the House of the Dragon. So if you're watching there, we're going to leave that podcast up for a while so you can catch up and listen to it. We'll probably have that up for another month or so, but all of those are going to be moving over to the new channel, which is just Last Choice TV Reviews, and it's going to have all of it underneath the one. And we also have the Winchesters. Big news on the Winchesters we're going to have to talk about in the beginning of the next one. I'm not super happy with what the CW might be doing, and I'm going to leave that cliffhanger there. And we're going to move forward. So you're going to have to listen in to our next episode of The Winchesters to find out what's going on. That comes out normally on Wednesdays because the show is on Tuesdays. But if you watch on the app, we try to drop that episode on Thursday. So you have a chance to watch it on the CW app, which is free. So if you want to check out a really cool show, The Winchesters, please go check it out. It is free on the CW app the day after it launches, which would be on Wednesdays. I'm Ender. This is James. Two Dudes That Game. We're out. Have a good night.